food trucks allowed in the same area at one time.
Now to the latest on the war in Ukraine. Under tight security, Russian President Vladimir Putin delivered a high-profile speech from Red Square. Richard Engel reports the speech came just hours after launching some of the most intense airstrikes in months on Kyiv.
It's the most important and solemn day in Russia, Victory Day over the Nazis in World War II. Russia lost more than 20 million soldiers and civilians in what is known across Russia as the Great Patriotic War. Today in Red Square, President Vladimir Putin says Russia is being pushed into another war by the West in neighboring Ukraine, a country he invaded a year ago without provocation. We do not have a nation we consider our enemy here in the West or the East, but they are provoking conflict and encouraging Russophobia. The speech lasted 10 angry minutes, flanked by his few remaining loyal allies from Belarus and Central Asia. President Putin presented himself as the guardian of Mother Russia and, as he does now frequently, of culture. They destroy traditional family values which make a man, all for the purpose of continuing to dictate and impose their own will, he said. But the celebrations in Moscow were scaled back from previous years, coming just days after an alleged drone attack on the Kremlin that Kyiv denies carrying out. And as Russian troops on the front lines in Ukraine are pulling back to defensive positions and evacuating some civilians ahead of an upcoming Ukrainian offensive. Ukraine's President Zelensky, in a move to further align his country to the West, changed the date Ukraine celebrates the defeat of Nazi Germany to May 8th, like it's marked in Europe and the United States. Like back then, evil has returned to our cities and villages. Although it is another aggressor, the goal is the same: enslavement or destruction, he said. World War II ended 78 years ago, but its shadow looms large today over the biggest conflict in Europe ever since.
It was Richard Engel reporting. And last week, Russia claimed it foiled an attack by Ukrainian drones on the Kremlin that it called an unsuccessful assassination attempt against Putin. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky denied any involvement. Russian authorities presented no evidence to support the claim.
And breaking here in the WRAL Live Center, a major shift in